with Governor Tim Pawlenty, the last really good governor of Minnesota that we've had.
You're nice, thank you.
Oh, well, I'm also accurate, Governor Pawlenty. Running into you here in New Hampshire, I saw you at the debate a couple of days ago. You're out here stumping for Mitt Romney.
I am, and I obviously took my campaign as far as I could take it, but it was time to then get out of the race and have the debate unfold for the remaining candidates. And in my judgment, Mitt Romney is the most knowledgeable, most capable, and importantly, most electable candidate in the field.
We've been seeing some attacks over the last day or so about Mitt Romney's experience at Bain Capital, the type of business that was, venture capital, where you're buying companies, you're resizing them, sometimes you're improving them, sometimes you're having to sell assets and reduce jobs. What's your first thoughts about whether or not that's an appropriate attack for Republicans to be making?
Well, first thing, it's an old argument. It's one that's been brought up by Barack Obama and Democrats for years against Mitt. It's not accurate, and I'm really disappointed that Newt Gingrich and others are attacking private enterprise in that way. That's a Democrat argument, to attack private enterprise and make class warfare arguments, and it's inaccurate in this sense that when you look at the job record of Mitt Romney at Bain Capital, total jobs added versus total jobs lost, he added jobs in total, in whole, not reduced them, so it's not even an accurate argument. And then today, just to put the cherry on top of this thing, guess what article came out about Newt Gingrich? That he worked for a leveraged buyout firm post-speakership. And so it's a very unfortunate and disappointing argument for Newt to be making.
I hadn't heard that.
Well, you will. It came out today.
I had not heard that. That's interesting. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with, just like there's nothing wrong in my mind about Newt Gingrich offering his consulting services to Fannie Mae or to Freddie Mac. I mean, it's a legitimate business. He's a legitimate consultant. I'm fine with that. I don't get why it's not just Newt Gingrich now. It's Rick Perry who's picked this up. And I guess
well, look, Mitt's the front runner, so all the people who aren't the front runner are trying to drag him down or take him down. But it's really a Democrat's argument. It's a class warfare, anti-private enterprise argument. And the other thing, it's not even accurate. Again, if you look at the total number of jobs added at Bain while Mitt was ahead of Bain Capital, he, on the whole, added jobs. And many times they were taking over troubled businesses to start with, so they were not exactly taking over businesses that weren't otherwise in trouble.
Well, right. I mean, that's part of creative destruction in the capitalist process. Creative destruction is taking assets that are not being efficiently used and putting them into better use so that you can use them more efficiently. Eventually, down the road, you're going to improve the economy. You're going to create jobs.
Well, when you buy troubled companies and try to get them back to life or headed in a better direction, some are going to make it, some aren't. That's the way it works. And actually, Mitt's record, like I said, is quite positive compared to the rest of that industry in overall job growth. But look, he was a successful business leader, investor, and when you take some risks, invest in some troubled companies or try to start new companies, some are going to be great successes, as you saw with Staples, as you saw with Domino's Pizza, as you saw with Bright Horizons. Others aren't going to make it, but that is not a reflection of Mitt Romney or his leadership. That record overall is a positive reflection.
That's the capitalist process. That's what venture capital is. It's risk-taking. Some risks pay off, and some risks don't.
Not all businesses are going to succeed, and we need people who are willing to take risks, invest, and try to start and build businesses or save them, because if you don't have that, you don't have a private economy.
What are you going to be up to tonight and tomorrow for Governor Romney?
Well, after I leave Radio Row and some of you and your colleagues here, Ed, I'm going to be doing a Bedford rally with Mitt. I'm going to introduce him and speak before he does, and that's going to be our last event of the night.
What's on the schedule for tomorrow?
Tomorrow, of course, is primary day. I'm doing a series of media interviews and some, I think, poll station stops, things like that.
Well, next time I talk to you, we're going to talk more about Minnesota. There's lots to talk about in the state
Love
of Minnesota,
to do it.
But right now, it's all about the presidential primaries. Thanks for sitting down and talking about it.
Happy to do it, Ed. Thanks for having me.